It's early in the morning, way earlier than I like it. The sun's rising over Brooklyn and we're on a boat. We're docking at Governor's Island for Pig Island, this wonderful fundraiser charitable event where 50 to 60 chefs are going to be plying their trade with heritage breed pig from upstate New York. Lots of pigs, lots of chefs, lots of pork dishes. That's what's on the menu. I'm Mike Colameco, chef and food lover. Come with me and meet some of today's most interesting chefs and their crews that work in their kitchens. Real chefs, real restaurants, and real recipes. That's what's on the menu. This is Mike Colameco's Real Food. So yeah, we came over on the first boat in the morning from the Battery at the tip of Manhattan to Governor's Island. Pig Island, as we will henceforth refer to it. You'll understand why soon. While the chefs are setting up house and lighting their grills, let's spend a couple of minutes with the organizer of this porcine charitable event, Jimmy Carbone of Jimmy's 43. Jimmy Carbone, man, thanks for having me here.
Michael, it's so great to have you.
I'm co-hosting Pig Island. Was it Pig Island 2 or 3? I'm confused.
Pig Island, you're 2.
Okay, yes. They were right, I was wrong. I thought it was 3. Talk about this event, where this idea come from, what it does, who it benefits, what it is.
Pig Island's really cool. I mean, so many of the chefs here have been involved in making their name in New York City as chefs. And this is a great opportunity for them to step up and get some exposure. But it's also a challenge. We were challenged, we've done some other events, and people said, you really need to be getting all local pigs, doing sustainable food. And a lot of us scratched their head and were like, what is that? And I said, well, let's start with the basics. Let's just go to a farmer or a couple farmers and buy their pigs, have their pigs come to New York. They get the money, and our chefs get to work with the pigs. And then the challenge is, well, you got a whole pig, what are you going to do? And each one of these guys, in their own way, is an expert, and they know a lot more about it than I do.
So these pigs came from one farm upstate.
Yes.
80 of them were delivered to Union Square this past Wednesday.
On Wednesday, yes.
So all the chefs came, picked up their pigs. You've had a couple of days to play. And the idea is do anything you want. Look, not be repetitive. Tell me what you're doing. But everybody just gets to do their turn on great, local, organic, sustainable, heirloom
These
pigs.
chefs are amazing. I mean, they've got everything from a soup to small dishes. A guy's making his own tacos and doing pig head tacos. We have dessert, sticky bacon buns.
All the food sounds full on. Where do the proceeds go? How's it work as a nonprofit?
Well, the first proceeds go to the farmers. So we buy the pigs from the farmers, and the cost of running the event, and then whatever's left over is going to Food Systems Network, NYC.
And we'll find out who they are. We'll talk to them in a separate cover. And you have a wonderful Jimmy's, just a shout out to what you do. Jimmy's 43 down on 7th Street, down the street from McSorley's, subterranean. One of the great beer halls, restaurants of its type in the city, bro.
Thanks, Michael.
Some Cuban sandwich? All right.
One of the things that's great about this event is the eclectic mix of chefs here from a range of New York restaurants. We've got Mexican to Malaysian, Nordic to Southern, and everything in between. And most of these chefs don't get the kind of buzz that, the Batalis, the Repairs, the Kellers of the world get, because they don't have those well-oiled PR machines. But these guys have sweat in the game. These are the kind of chefs I love too. Believe me, these cats know how to cook.
Well, we're doing a little bit of everything, I think, but our main event today is Cubano sandwich.
Break it down for us. So we have
Chris
braised.
Basically, we did like sort of porchetta style. So we took our belly, wrapped it around our tenderloin. We made some chorizo, got a little Swiss cheese on here, a little bit of house-made pickle, Parisi bread.
Parisi's bread.
Yep, Parisi. 100-year-old, they don't do it wrong. And smush it down, and then get it over to the griddle. Cubano sandwich.
Here King from Kuma Inn, man.
Yes.
Welcome to Pig Island.
Thank you.
What's the dish that you're preparing? Because this just looks so good.
This is the belly portion. I took the rib cage out of the belly, and we stuffed it with lemongrass, banana leaves, ginger, and garlic. And with the front legs and the hind legs, we braise them in soy sauce, vinegar, and garlic, and coconut milk.
Can we get a tight shot of this? He just flipped it over, guys. Sorry to bother you, but it's so cool looking. When he flips it over, it's just all like confit and bubbly.
Oh, yeah.
See what I mean? See the bubbly?
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, that's just...
And that fat just helps.
Dude, that braise it's ridiculous. It's like flavor.
We're gonna start with a little rice on the bottom of the plate.
Some braised meat.
This is the braised, the hind legs and the front legs we took and we braised them. Braised with soy sauce, vinegar, garlic, coconut milk. Lots of love. And then this is the main thing right here.
And if we could just hold that up with a tongue and just get a cross section of what that looks like, it'd be beautiful.
Sure.
I can use my fingers,
Yeah.
no one's gonna mind. It's just fat, it's just layers, right? It's layers of fat and meat and skin. It's crunchy, it's crispy, it's succulent.
The pickles are for crunch in the city. So it's daikon radish and carrots.
And what's this sauce?
This
is the one you made with
sauce
the liver?
We made with the liver. has some liver, some brown sugar, and some vinegar.
You know, it's ridiculous. It's such versatile meat. Great pork is so versatile. When I think I've had it every way, and I think I've had enough of it, I find myself at an event like this, eating it 25 different ways and saying every one of them is just ridiculously good.
Thank you very much.
God bless Porky the Pig. Here with John Stage, who is the guy that sort of came up with Dinosaur Barbecue, which, how long have you been in Manhattan? 7 years?
We opened up in 04.
I can't do the math, 6 or 7 or 8 or something.
Yeah.
But tell me about Dinosaur Barbecue, because it's a great story, actually, how you got started and how it came from sort of upstate, I don't say the boondocks, but the western part of the state to Manhattan. So talk a little bit about it.
Well, I started this business in 1983 to feed bikers up and down the East Coast. That's what I did for like the first 5 years. And as I kept going down south, I realized what I was doing was not real barbecue. I did sausage, peppers, and onions, steak sandwiches. I crossed the Mason-Dixon line. People started asking me, why are you calling yourself barbecue? I didn't know what the heck, you know.
Right.
I'm from New York. I didn't know. So around 1987, I started learning the craft of barbecue. Then I opened up my first restaurant in Syracuse in 1988.
Talk a bit about cooking with pork. Why do you love it? I mean, what's the mystery? Because I mean, the pig you're using is so good.
Right.
Talk a little bit about just pork and barbecue.
Well, in order to barbecue, you've got to have fat. Fat is your friend in barbecue. We cook a pork shoulder that starts at 10 pounds and ends up at 5 pounds. So through that cooking process, if you throw a lean piece of meat in a barbecue pit,
It's your shoe.
you may as well not even bother. So you need the fat. The pig provides the fat, and it's just a wonderful animal. So a little bit of sauce. Get your coleslaw. All right, my pleasure.
Oh, that's just so freaking good, man. This is your first year doing Pig Island?
Oh, no.
You were last year too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm on the leadership committee of the Food Systems Network, which is one of the beneficiaries of the event. So
Right.
I'm here to support that, and Jimmy's done a great job organizing it. And
Talk a bit
happy
about,
to
if
be
you would,
back.
just so, because I'd love different. Tell me about that network, about what it does, about what its mission
Well,
statement
the
is.
mission is really about having good food available to all people. So, and that everyone is a stakeholder in creating a positive food system, and that we all are a part of it, and the more of us that are a part of it, the more good work will be done.
Yeah, you and I had this discussion, so it's not just about a certain elite zip codes or certain neighborhoods
Right.
or certain income levels. It's that, hey, let's kind of bring, you know,
Right.
the rising tide lifts all boats. Let's make it that way with food too.
That's right.
All right. All right.
Everyone needs good food.
Everyone needs good food. So talk about what you're doing for this event, because I'm a huge fan of what you do with your catering and what you do with the restaurant.
Well,
So what did you
thank
come up with?
Well, we've made some carnitas.
So let's put one together. Let's see what you're doing here.
Okay. It's a corn tortilla.
Okay.
Yep, it's made with, I think they use as much local cornmeal as they can as
smell
well.
it from here. It just
yeah,
smells
so
great.
it's, little pork in there.
Then you have a little bit of a slaw.
Little bit of a slaw. This is cabbage and radish. We've got a little bit of jalapeno in there. A little bit of sour cream. And there you go.
And tell me about
Put
this.
it in a little.
You got the green stuff at the end.
That is a salsa, green salsa.
Well, you do great work,
Local
kid.
corn,
Thanks
yeah.
so much. I want to have a
Local
bite.
pigs.
So, local pigs. A lot of this bite. A lot of eating today.
Yeah,
Oink, oink.
good.
Here with Peter Janakis, who's representing that borough that I'm trying to, the one that gets next to no love, that has some of the best food in the city, Queens.
Yeah.
Queen, I mean, all the foodies, all the press that move to Brooklyn, it's all love for Brooklyn, and Queens like, where's that? Best Korean, best Thai,
Everything.
best Mexican, best Greek, best you name it. It's flat out straight up. So this is the really coarse grind sausage from your dad's recipe.
Yes, exactly.
It's pork. It's got a lot of pork fat in it. I can just tell by the way it's rendering and crisping up. You can see the big chunks. Orange, leeks. Probably came down from his parents and their parents.
It did actually. My father actually, his family comes from Smyrna, so they actually were kicked out by the Turks, and they took all the recipes and brought them over to Greece. So this is like hardcore Greek root.
That's the story of Europe, man.
Exactly.
Who invaded who, and who was, southern Italy was Greece for the longest time.
Exactly.
So what are we going to do with this? We're going to take a couple pieces of this out.
All we're gonna do is pull it right out, and it's ready to go.
Smell great.
How's it smell? It smells good, right? Yeah. It's definitely, I think, a dying breed.
I love it. I love the orange in it. Excellent. All right, tell me about what you've done for this event, and I'll let you take it.
All right. We made meatballs and we made some roast and a rillette over here.
So the roast was from the loin.
Yeah.
Meatballs from the ground up rest of the animal.
Yeah.
And the rillette is sort of slow cooked with its own fat.
Oh, we took all the bones and the heads and everything that was left when we cut all the meat and slow cooked it in beer for hours and hours, and then we pulled it, every little single corner of fat and meat we got out.
Yeah.
Then of course we have the beautiful Danish rye bread.
Great rye bread. We'll flip the other side of it to show.
Yeah.
It's rye, nutty, beautiful, delicious, typical of the region.
Yeah. We put half red cabbage and beets in this, and apple cider vinegar, and salt and pepper and brown sugar.
And what's the name of your restaurant so we can figure
Hanneman's Kitchen.
Hanneman's Kitchen in Copenhagen.
In Copenhagen. And then that's it. This is lunch for us, and then a cold beer, and we are so happy.
Folks, meet one of the rock stars of the butchering world, Adam Tiberi, formerly of Dixon's Farm Stand. Keep an eye on this kid. We're going to watch his butchering demo a little bit.
Baby, come on out the kitchen. Put down.
That's a shoulder roast, so Boston butt technique.
And did I mention pork as the main component for a dessert? Yeah, I wasn't kidding. Let's take a look. Tell me about why you picked this item. I read about it and I'm like, I'm not going to eat breakfast that day. This is the first thing I'm going to have. So why this? Well, you tell us what it is.
Actually, the option was to do a whole pig. And as I'm the pastry chef and juggling a lot of other hats at Print, and my husband runs the place and he's got enough on his plate.
Right.
This was signature. It's a brunch every Saturday and Sunday. And we figured, it went so well last year, let's just do it again.
And so just describe what it is.
It's a classic sticky bun,
right.
Filled with a lot of brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon, and a lot of maple syrup and butter. And we take that glaze and we cook the bacon in it.
And bacon, I mean, it's funny how we're seeing like bacon and salt creeping into chocolate and maple and syrupy in drinks, in pastry, because it's just so malleable. It's this great flavor.
It is. It's a beautiful flavor, and it balances a lot of things as well.
Yeah, there's something about it, the fat and just all the things you get
all
going on.
All the good things, fat, salt, chocolate.
All stuff we love.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all good for you somewhere. We'll figure it out sooner or later.
It will.
All right, so can I eat one?
Please.
Ridiculous, man. Like perfect. The dough is perfect. It just has that great sponge, a little bit of yeast to it. Like you said, somewhere between like a light brioche.
Yeah, it's like a quick brioche.
Quick bread brioche, and just mapley and bacon and salt.
That's why we're here.
Well, here's Ryan Butler. You're the chef, the pastry chef? Tell me what you're doing.
Pastry chef.
Okay. At Mary Queen of Scots. And what's the one in the village called by me?
Highlands.
Highlands, so two places, but you're here kind of wearing both hats. This is like a pork-centric thing, and we saw a great idea that Heather did across the way with like a pork sticky bun kind of thing. You tell me what you've come up with.
So right here we have a pork and maple custard. So it's kind of like a big play on breakfast. So it's a pork-infused dairy, and then we're going to top it with a brittle that I've made from pork belly, pecans, and a little bit of panko crumbs. And then we caramelize it and grind it up. And then just for kicks, we made a little bit of a cinnamon French toast that we made a little egg batter with pork fat.
This is ridiculous,
and the pork fat was made in the brioche, and then we dipped that in.
So instead of part of it's butter and pork fat, mixing the lipids. All right, here we have you can see the consistency of that custard. It's really, unlike a baked custard in the bain-marie, this is almost like between a panna cotta and a custard or something.
Absolutely.
You got to be kidding me. This is so good. You got to put this on the menu. It's like a no-brainer. Next week.
That's breakfast in a glass right there.
You got it, brother. Thank you.
All right, great to see you.
Love it. Hey, it was a fun day. We raised a bunch of money for Food Systems Network NYC, whose mission is to help educate youth about food, where it comes from, and how to keep it sustainable. Next step, let's head back to my kitchen and cook up some pork. Hey, Pig Island, man, how much fun was that? 20 chefs on Governor's Island, all the beer you can drink, and 20 takes on pork, including a couple desserts. All right, So, what do I do after Pig Island? Went shopping today, heritage breed. Gonna just play like an Italian riff. This is a pork sirloin. Everyone knows what pork chops are. Everyone plays with them and the little scallopini. This is a sirloin, just like a sirloin steak. I like to leave that fat on it because this pork fat off these heritage breeds is delicious. And this is just a simple, same butcher, same store. This is a garlic and pepper sausage. So we're gonna just saute these off, same pan. They're about the same cooking time. And as they get close, I'm gonna just do I have this beautiful escarole here that I love from the market. It wasn't wrapped up like escarole usually is. It was like loose so you could see it like a big floppy, almost looked like lettuce. And the truth is you can eat this stuff raw. It's delicious. But I'm gonna saute it. A little bit of garlic, escarole in the pan, and then I'm gonna finish it with some of these just white beans. First things first, we're gonna season this pork chop on both sides. You get a pepper mill too. I'll be back in 2 seconds. A couple turns of a pepper mill. Be generous because a lot of this stuff is going to fall off in the saute pan and over to the stove to do what we do. A little bit of oil in the pan. Oil's hot, little smoke coming off of it. You can see it kind of doing that sheeting thing it does on the pans. Put it in carefully so it splashes away from us. And we'll just lay that sausage on the back end of the pan, turn the heat down half a notch, and just let them go. All right, in the meantime, let's chop some garlic. All right, this is a real straightforward, simple recipe. I love garlic. It goes in most of the vegetables I cook on a daily basis. So just fine chop a little bit of garlic. It goes so beautifully with this escarole. Sometimes I'll put a little diced carrot in here too to sweeten it up, but we're gonna skip this today and just stay with garlic. One more time, pass the knife over them just to get it real fine. Put the garlic in a little container. So, Pig Island was really cool, but most of what we saw was barbecue, open flame, kind of stuff, and a lot of big cuts, and a lot of things that took a couple of days to make. Because remember, the pigs got delivered to Union Square on Wednesday. The chefs got to play with them Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, showed up really early Saturday morning. So, you know, I'm figuring at home you're not going to go through all that that kind of fuss for dinner. Well, I'm sure as heck that's why I go out to eat. So this is the kind of thing where you're going to have the same great pork, same great heritage breeds, but the kind of stuff you can do at home. I'm going to turn these. So we've got a real nice, I know we're going to get really nice color on this. You can just kind of see it's working its way back. Yeah, that's beautiful, huh? And I'm going to turn the sausage as well, and you can see that bad boy bubble. I can probably turn that flame down just a little notch. And you can see already that extra oil is just this pork fat that's melting out into the pan from this, you know, generous fat cap. But I'll tell you what, that stuff is delicious. Maybe we'll pour some of this oil into the escarole pan. Yeah, something tells me. A little olive oil, a little pork oil with that garlic. Yeah, that's a keeper. All right, as I said for the escarole, I'm going to use a little olive oil in the beginning. I'll probably finish it with a little olive oil, but you know what? I'm just looking at this beautiful oil in this pan that I'm smelling that has this really nice porky flavor to it, and I'm thinking that's going to be perfect. I mean, same dish, distant cousins. In goes my garlic. And we're just going to let that garlic begin. Garlic, when it's cut this small, goes so fast. The last thing you want to do is burn it, so bang. We'll kind of stop the cooking. Put in the escarole, pinch of salt. And the way I like to cook these leafy greens is to just keep kind of moving them in the pan, turning them over a little bit. Because, I mean, basically this is like rough lettuce almost. When escarole is this young and this fresh, doesn't need a whole lot of time to cook. And as I said, I don't want to turn this into soup. So we're just going to let that heat knock it down. Make sure my garlic looks golden underneath there, which it does. And this whole cooking time is going to be like 2 minutes, 3 minutes max. You'll see, it's just going to wilt down, turn into about, volume-wise, about half of what it is here. And then we're going to plate it. Put the beans in and plate it. Don't let me forget the beans. In fact, let's put the beans in now. And I'm not going to use all of these because then that would be kind of a beanie mess, but I just love white beans and escarole. I'm sure I had this growing up. That's plenty. About another 30 seconds. I'm just going to shut that pan off. As I said, we'll finish that with a little olive oil and a little pepper mill. Looks good to me. Okay, the pork looks like it's almost done. I'm going to eat, when I buy pork like this, it's this heritage breed pork. It's expensive, it's delicious. I pretty much eat it medium all the time, you know, just past medium rare, so it's going to be a little pink in the center. A couple of turns of black pepper. Just because. Finish it with a little bit of olive oil at the end. Now that the heat's off, so we're going to get this sheen from the olive oil and the flavor. And I think we're going to shut both of them off when we're ready to plate. You don't have to put all this escarole on a plate, but some. Look at the color. You know that's going to be tasty. We're just going to plate it up grandma style. Nothing fancy about this. So, what we have, pork sirloin steak. Again, I love it. It's just a different cut instead of just going with the chops. It's another muscle cut that's delicious, and much in the same way that sirloin is. But this wonderful flavor that these pigs have, because they have a great life. You know, these are coming from upstate farms where they're free range, they're foraging, they're living the way they're supposed to live. And the meat and the fat in this meat is just so much different than the commodity pork out there. A little bit more expensive, just eat less of it, it's delicious. And with the trim, they make these great sausage. Let me have a bite of this first. Garlic and pepper, ridiculously good. And the pork, well, that looks a little closer to medium well to me, but maybe the middle isn't. Little beans, get them all in one bite. You know, we're living in a time in this country where the ingredients have never been better. I mean, we're so lucky to be here now in this place because this link between farmers and chefs and you, the public, on this fascination for great ingredients just keeps moving the bar up in America. You know, for the first time really in history. I think the ingredients we have here across the board, vegetables, mushrooms, fish, meat, cheese, this is as good or better than anything in Europe. And I could not have made that statement 10 or 15 years ago. So celebrate. Great pork, great sausage, simple cooking, you know, the way I always do, grandma style. If you get a chance, Pig Island. Once a year, end of the summer usually. First week of September, last week of August. So much fun. Jimmy Carbone, everything goes to a great cause. And who doesn't want to take a ferry to an island, drink beer and eat pork and take a ferry home? I'm in for that. Till next week.